This is Rita Sobler, Education Director with Urban Sketchers, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. I am super excited for my guests tonight. If you've seen the promos, I am talking to Ben Luk from Hong Kong and with Marina Grechanik from Israel tonight about their workshops as we continue our series of falling in love with urban sketching instructors. If you haven't heard, our symposium is taking place next month after 3 long years of no symposiums. We're finally getting together with our family. We're coming to New Zealand, and the 2 instructors that we'll hear from today will be here to talk about their workshops, share a special tip with all of us, show us their gorgeous work, show us how they sketch and what they will be teaching us. So please join me in welcoming our first guest, Ben, that sketches
Hello.
in Hong Kong. And here he is. Hi.
It's all right. It's a nice
How's
Sunday
it going?
morning in Hong Kong. Yes. Yeah.
Sunday morning, yes. Anything happening today, Ben?
Concentrating
in
on
Hong Kong?
this interview. Well, yesterday I had a full day volunteering for the YMCA in Hong Kong, and I taught. I taught 2 courses for school children, taking them to a park and do urban sketching. That was quite an experience. They're in secondary
What ages?
school, maybe 15
Yes.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Do you think you've created some lifelong sketchers that will be coming to symposiums in
I'm not sure if I will be there or you will be there, but maybe some of them got inspiration from yesterday's workshop. Yeah.
Yes,
I think it's
that's
quite.
the hope.
Yeah, I think the difference between teaching adults, like in a symposium, and teaching school children it's a completely different experience. It's quite hard to get their attention.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's you have to be really, really, really impressive. Well, Ben, tell us about your workshop. You're doing something super cool, and you're doing something super delicious.
I'll be
if I'm giving it
teaching,
away, I'm sorry.
Food sketching. By that I mean not like sitting in your own studio and drawing a bowl of fruit. And that's not it. We'll be sitting in a busy cafe, which I have talked to the local volunteers in Auckland. They have actually done some research and they found some nice cafes for us to draw in. They have. So I will try to.
That's great. Are you going to tell us? Are you going to reveal
I think
us
there
the kind
are a
of food
couple
that
of
you'll be
options.
drawing at the workshop, or is that going to
nice
be
cafes.
a surprise?
There could be a traditional pub. So it will be very busy, very dynamic. Your food will get moved around, get eaten, or the drink will disappear. That danger. That danger is completely.
That's always the danger.
If you're sketching on the street, and sometimes halfway through you get a huge delivery truck parked right in front of you, and your scene disappears. And that kind of excitement. And improvisation that you need to do is equivalent to cafe sketching.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And tell me, why do you think it's food makes a good subject for urban sketching?
Yeah,
a lot of people
I think
draw architecture,
food gives you
scenery, or.
I think for beginners, food gives you like an easy subject to start with, because when you sit down in a restaurant, you could start drawing your cup of tea. You can draw the salt and pepper pots on the table, and then as the food arrives, it comes like dish after dish after dish. So it's like not coming all together at the same time. So you could, if you're at the beginner level, you could start like from very, very small scale, and then you gradually build up your own sketch. You don't have to think about perspective. Actually, I think you don't need to worry about it, because your composition will evolve as the food arrives. So there's no need to plan your composition. I tend to just draw things on top of each other until I fill the page, and that. Well,
yes.
I can create.
So I always get the feeling that you eat a lot,
the impression
even
that I
though
eat a lot, and I create the impression that you have a very busy table full of food because I overlap all the dishes. Yes.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And your drawings of food are so just vibrant and delicious,
yes, of course.
and fantastic. Maybe you can show us some examples.
Yes.
Just to get
yes, I can show you some of the sketches I've done last year in Japan. I think it's great when you're traveling in Japan. I tend to go alone so that I don't have to wait for people. And I can sit at a bar. No, other places as well, in Hong Kong as well.
Only in Japan.
Yeah. So in places like this where you can just sit at the bar and you can watch what the chefs are doing. So you get a bit of background. You get a bit of people sketching practice. But you don't need to worry about if your people drawing is not good because they're in the background. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The main subject, the main draw is that juicy, colorful sketch. And like you said, you don't have to worry too much about composition, perspective. You're really just enjoying, you're being very quick, you're making fast decisions, and you're really just enjoying colors and shapes.
All these different shapes that you see on the table is really interesting. Like the shape of the bowls, and sometimes they're flat, sometimes they're round. Like the shape of the pint of beer, and I think over the years, as I've done more and more of these sketches, I realized that the placement of the beer is quite important. Yes, because and also how full the level of the beer is also quite important. You should always draw the pint half empty.
It has to be believable.
Or half full. Okay, you can draw it.
I would say
always
full.
draw it half full,
because I'm an optimist.
You connect the foreground with the background. You can see what's behind. You can see what's behind, and you can save a bit of paint.
That's why. That is so brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And save the paint.
Okay.
Everything is so much thought into it. Well, let's see some others.
I'll show you a different one. This is one I've done in Hong Kong. This is actually a sort of quick dinner before a jazz concert.
Oh, wow.
So the bottom part was done first, and then the top part was done later. It was a jazz concert.
Was the concert?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all connected because of the colors. So it's almost like jazz musicians are preparing your food, and it's all just working together.
Recently, I've been exploring how to convey the adjectives that you use for food in watercolor. Things like how do you express the crispy skin in this pork knuckle, and how do you express this sort of thick soup?
Wow.
And the sort of words that you associate with food, how do you translate that into a sketch? Yes.
How do you translate adjectives into watercolor?
I'm trying not to get too intellectual.
I'm going to be thinking about this for a while.
But this is like a teaser for
Too
people
late.
who
It's
might
too
come to
late.
the workshop.
That, yeah. So there you go. In Ben's workshop, you'll be translating adjectives into watercolor, and it's really the poetry of
Yes.
watercolor and food sketching all coming together. Ben, for those people who can't unfortunately join you, what would be your tip or one thing that you would teach us
In
to do in the meantime if we're
Well, I guess
not lucky enough to be in your workshop next month?
just go to lots of cafes, um, get a feel of the environment, um,
It's
but
that
go with a
simple.
couple of friends who are interested in sketching together, so that when you're all sketching, then the food tends to disappear less quickly. That's basically how I started a couple of years ago.
That's a good tip right
When
there.
I first got into urban sketching, because the weather in
Yes.
Hong Kong is not always suitable for sketching outdoors. In the summer, it can just get too hot and too humid. So I used to just go with a couple of friends to
Yeah.
cafes and we'll sit in an air-conditioned environment and be able to sketch slowly. We developed a certain system whereby if you want, like we order a couple of pieces of cake in front of us, and if someone wants to take a bite out of one piece of cake, then he or she will politely ask, "May I take a bit from the back of your sketch?" So it doesn't, so that you don't,
How polite, how
your
civilized.
subject doesn't get destroyed
Destroy
totally.
your subject.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's always the main challenge with food sketching is that
Yes.
it's either
Yes.
it's usually when you go to a restaurant you're very hungry, so that's the
Yes.
last thing you want to do is wait for another hour or two to finish your sketch. And
Yes.
oftentimes eating out is a social activity, so you're there with other people and they won't be waiting 2 hours for you to finish your
Yes.
damn sketch. So
you need to make friends.
it's just a losing
Make
battle.
friends with
It's
people
always a
who like
losing battle.
food sketching
So
and go
your
together.
tip, yes, who like food sketching, but don't necessarily
Correct.
like
Yes.
food, so they won't be eating your subject. Those are all important, very, very important
Yeah.
tips. Okay.
Sure.
Maybe you can show us just a couple more sketches
Um,
to get us very, very excited. And then this
First time,
is your first
yes,
time
first time
coming
coming to
to
teach.
teach,
But
correct? At a
I
symposium,
have
you've been to a
done
few?
other food sketching workshops in Hong Kong. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, you have had huge experience
Thank you very
teaching,
much.
and your work is amazing. I always, when I see it, it always brings a lot of joy to me. It's super, super colorful. There's food sketching, but not necessarily just
Yes.
food.
Yes.
You do a lot of different subjects, a lot of great subjects as well. And this workshop, like Ben said, is perfect for beginners. It's perfect for any level sketcher. But for beginners, it kind of takes the pressure off thinking about several aspects all at once, thinking about composition, thinking about perspective. You can just focus on, what would you say is the main focus? Is it about
I would say
watercolor
two main
technique?
focus. One is how to do the first stage, which is a line sketch, but do it very, very fast. Like the speed at which you sketch is basically driven by how hungry you are. So I can only tolerate for 5 minutes staring at this food. So I would finish the line sketch in that 5 minutes, and then I will start eating. But when I'm satisfied, when I've satisfied my stomach, then I will start painting. So there's a whole process. So
So there's a whole
time
process to it,
management
as
and
always.
also
Everything
hunger
with
management.
you is a process. Super important. The second one is very, very important. Okay, let's see another
which
sketch.
is every time in in the autumn, because in Hong Kong we celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival, which is one of the traditional Chinese festivals, and we always have mooncake, and you can have different styles of mooncake.
Yes,
and I've always disliked eating them. I just find them quite heavy. But my parents love eating them. So what happens every year is I buy them. I go to my parents' house and we share them, and I just draw them and they will eat them. So to
perfect. Here you go again. Like
so
to sketch,
like
maybe not
when
so
we
much
just
like
said
the
about
food, it works out better.
the shape of the cake can change when somebody takes a bite, but now I actually use it to my advantage. You can actually, well, if you draw the whole mooncake like this, it's fine, it's perfect, it's a bit commercial. But if you draw it like cut up or it's like incomplete, actually it provides more information about the food. It shows what it looks like inside, and also gives an idea that the scene is changing.
Of course. Yeah, that probably is the difference between an illustration and a sketch that tries to tell a story. Well, Ben, I'm sure people would love to see or hear about the tools that you're using. And right now we'll take any questions from all of you watching us.
I can show you the tools that I use.
Ask away.
It's very simple. For food sketching, I don't use pencil because, as I said before, I don't have to work out the composition. I don't have to worry about perspective, so I don't need my vanishing lines. So I just directly draw with a pen. It's just a very, very ordinary gel pen you can find in stationery shops, and it's 0.7 mm thick. It's
gel pen.
It's thicker than the usual ones. Usually you can get 0.3 or 0.5, but I like to use 0.7 because then you can vary the pressure a bit, and you can still get variation of thin and thick lines. Yeah. And then I have.
Makes sense.
Let's see. I have these wax pencils. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Wax. So that they would repel.
Wax, you said?
So they're great for making marks. For example, if you're drawing something that has maybe like the slices of lemon, that you can see the edge of the lemon peel, and it's kind of waxy. If you just draw that with a wax pencil and then paint over that, then you instantly get the effect that it's just a piece of lemon. And you don't have to.
Wow.
Correct. Because
so the watercolor
because
would not
because
go
it repels
over that
the
place.
watercolor.
It'll repel it from.
So that really gives you the benefit of speed. So you make the mark first and you paint over. So I do that quite often because it helps me to save time. And then I just use watercolor. It's nothing special. Yeah. I just use.
There's your
I think
boss.
for food painting,
yes, of course.
only a sort of large mop brush and a small one. I don't need some.
Okay. Do you ever use the food itself? Some people get really creative and splash wine.
I don't tend
coffee,
to do that. I know a lot of people do.
Berry juice.
I like for this crispy skin here, like this one. I do a wash that's very wet, and then you put salt on top of it, and the salt will, yes. So
salt.
Yes,
provided and you just use whatever is at
provided
the
the salt at the
restaurant
restaurant is not too damp. it will work.
Fantastic.
It will just basically it will suck up the water,
Damn.
and then when it dries, you brush off the salt, and then it will give you this crispy effect. I think I shouldn't. I shouldn't give
Here's
any
that
more
trick
away.
again.
Should stop
Learning
now.
so much. Okay, let's stop and let's bring our second guest, who is the lovely Marina Grechanik from Israel. So I'm going to try to find her here. Stand by. And we'll chat with both
I
of
need
you
to
for a
turn.
minute.
Just a moment.
Marina. Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Hi. So good to
Yeah.
see you both. It's
Yes.
a beautiful sunrise.
On my
Looks
face.
like the sun is coming out.
It's my pleasure.
Super
It's
early,
my pleasure.
Marina. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Marina and Ben, tell us, as you know, both of you have been to symposiums, you know the energy, you know the feeling. We haven't been together for so many years. What is one thing you're both looking forward to the most?
I think this year is going to be
to
very
experience.
different because of COVID, everything has stopped for 3 years, and people are just beginning to start to be traveling often again. Maybe in the Western world they started earlier than us, but in Asia and especially in Hong Kong, the restrictions have just recently been lifted, and people are restarting to travel.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and going to very busy places,
Yes.
meeting a lot of people, and trying to relive the vibe that we experienced in the previous symposium is going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Yes.
Marina?
Well said.
Yeah, I think, yes, I agree.
Marina,
First of all,
for
yeah,
you,
after this
what are you looking forward
break, it will be very special, of course, and it's always special for me. It's my seventh one, and I just remember my first one, which was very special because it was
Wow.
like to meet old friends that you never met. You just we just were friends online, and then you meet in person, and it was really shocking experience in good way, of course. And from then it's like annual meeting to meet old friends and to get to know new one, and it's a huge experience of learning one from another, and of course of sketching just in the sake of sketching, not other reasons, which is so beautiful, which is so amazing. And 3 days fly like 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that you say, okay, it was.
I know, it's a blink.
Yeah.
It's a blink.
I always say,
Yes.
just try to freeze the moment because it's so precious. It's so nice. Try to remember, but it flies always like this. Pack.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining us. Ben Luk from Hong Kong will be teaching a symposium on sketching food.
Yes, thank you very much. It's
we
lovely
look forward to
to
seeing
speak to you too.
next month. And
thank you. Bye.
Thanks again. Bye. And now we're giving the full stage to Marina. And Marina, tell us about, first of all, where are you? And
okay, as I'm in my home studio in Ra'anana in Israel, and it's early morning here. Yeah.
Early Sunday morning.
It's already sunny, as you can see. Very sunny. And my workshop will be about sketching people.
Yes.
Because it's no secret that it is my favorite subject.
Why do you like sketching people,
since I was a kid, I loved to draw people. I can remember it. I think it's because it's always fascinating. They always tell story. They're never boring. There are so many stories just in one person, which is sitting still, even not moving, just sitting, and you can get a lot of stories about just by observing this person. So for me, when I travel, when I discover new places, first of all, I pay attention on people because they tell the stories of places. And for me, they're not just things that are aiding scales for my sketch. They are the main thing. I can say even that the buildings and the background, they are just a stage for my people who are heroes. So, yeah, that's, yeah, that's, I think.
Always the hero. Show us some examples, because I'm a huge fan of your work. I know, but
okay, so
for those who might not be familiar,
yeah. So first of all, this workshop will be a bit different. I did some workshops which were focused on portraits, like on drawing portraits, urban portraits. But this time I want to try to capture time and space, like moving persons and in the environment, okay, and group of people. So it will be kind of more challenging, I think. But of course, we will start from portraits and figure first sketches, and then we will move to the wall scene, which is very challenging because people moving, as you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the most terrifying subject for a lot of people. Everybody wants to be able to do it, but everybody's so scared.
Yeah.
So what is the trick? Give us
the trick is
one
to
tip
turn
of
this challenge to the advantage, okay? Because you know, when you sketch from reference, for example, from a photograph, let's say, you have perfectly your subject, you can trace and you can get everything accurate perfectly, but you lose the sense of movement, you lose the life. And we have when we sketch from observation, we got this perfect feeling. We need to generalize. We need to get out of not necessary details, and then we get this perfect feeling of time and space, and not just frozen reality. Okay, and that's what all the artists looking for. They are looking for. If we would like to do perfect copies, we will just to take photos. It's not interesting. But what is interesting is to get this feeling, and that's the most amazing thing I think we can get from sketching from observation. So let's use this advantage as advantage and try to get this. And that's what we will try. We will try to get out of our fear, we all have fears, even from beginners and to very experienced sketchers, we have fear of just spoil your sketch, just to do a bad drawing. Oh my God, bad drawing! It's so terrifying. Yeah. So we will try to get rid of this fear and just to enjoy. And then we will see. Maybe the results also will come after that. But we will not be so precious about the results. We will try to enjoy. So
here you go. The trick is to use this challenge of somebody who's moving as the main asset. You're trying to capture something imperfectly, something that's moving, and that's how you break out of this rigid pose, of that frozen feel that you would get if you were just doing sketching from reference. So
exactly.
Use your challenge to your advantage. And great tip.
Okay, so
let's look at some of your
we will start from something very simple with very small formats and something like that, which is just yeah.
I love this little sketchbook, by the way.
It's just trying to capture the essence of the person, which takes a few half a minute or something like that. And we will try different approaches to do this, not to draw iconic faces, but to get to the essence of the character. And that will be our first stage. And also same for the wall figure, something like that. So this is people are doing yoga, okay, and yoga it's easy to sketch because they stay in their poses for a few seconds, and you can capture them. And yeah. We did sketch scroll in the open yoga session, so yeah, it's nice. And also dancers,
nice.
it's also nice to sketch.
Perfect.
Like, it's not good in my light, huh? My light is bad.
Yes, that is the. It makes it
Yeah,
very
well,
dynamic.
Yeah.
That
I need to
sunshine.
turn it. Okay.
The sunshine
Better,
through the
I
blinds.
think.
Yeah. Is this the question is from Sumar Boy. Is this
Name?
sketch style, does this sketch style have a name? I think it's yes. I want to call it Marina.
Okay,
Marina
so
style. And if you've ever if by the way, if you're joining us and you've never been around Marina or have the honor of being sketched by Marina, she can, in just one line, somehow capture the essence of you, of any person. It's going to be instantly recognizable. So I don't know. That's
thank you.
The best I can describe kind of the way your style works is that it seems very deceptively simple, but it's actually like the best portrait you'll ever get because it gets to what
Thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you so much.
So
yeah, and then we okay. It's also can be people which are staying. Like this is people that are staying on the cross to cross the road on the red line, and then you have also a few minutes to sketch them, and it's very good place to sketch because they stay and they will go. So you have very limited time, and you need to capture just stay. Yes.
So
and this is very simple tools. It's graphite, this thick brick, and you can have shape and line together. And I love to work with shapes and lines when each one have his own role, not just repeating one another, but having each one his separate role. Yes, and then it works
separate.
And so we will also practice this. We will pay attention on shapes and lines in our workshop. And okay, the wall scene is it's something like this. So yeah, okay, yeah. So
putting it all together.
This is a flea market in Jaffa, and it was a very colorful backstage, let's say, and we will pay attention to composition. We will pay attention to the movement, to the energy, and this we will do with putting our background, and then we will ask people just as they come, as hunters who are looking for perfect victims, yes, for their movie, or like a perfect director who is doing a cast for his movie. So we will not just sketch random people. We will choose the best one who will tell the story, and I hope we will enjoy for sure.
It's always, your workshops are always so much fun. And you're also doing a demo like other instructors are doing?
Yes, I think, it will be people with their background, and it will show the process, the whole process, like working with shapes and lines and putting them one on another, like different levels. So it puts kind of three-dimension, but not from the point of view of light and shape, and the point of view of movement. More movement. It's not the academic approach of get in form and put in line and form and so on. I'm not against academic approach. I had it also. I learned in Russia, so yes. But I don't think it's necessary for you to be a good sketcher. Not at all. And also, you don't need to learn anatomy and all kind of proportion of human body to be good people sketchers. So this workshop is good for beginners and also for advanced sketchers, because the advanced sketchers will learn how to put their academic background behind them. Okay, which is also very, yeah, which is very
To kind
healthy, I
set it
think.
aside. Yes.
I did it for myself, so I will try to learn what to teach what I learned for myself, which is work for me. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, maybe we'll take some questions now if you have some for Marina. Maybe you'll show us a few of your favorite tools.
Okay, so I have this
in the field, on location.
This yeah, which my friend
yes,
did for me, and
this.
I can put just colored pencils, and I can put this some water brushes, and I have my small set of watercolors. Yeah, and
watercolors. So you mostly use? Do you use pencils?
I start from shapes usually, but yes, yes, and I love to mix different tools. So graphite can be very colorful, just one alone without nothing. It will be very colorful and very powerful tool. I love to fill my paintbrushes with kind of liquid watercolor, kind of like Ecoline, or it can be other brand, but and then you have a lot of watercolor just ready for work. You don't need to open your paint box when you, or you can do something like that. You can put on your folder something like these samples, and you can add, and then you can work easily with few colors, just because watercolor in my case are not realistic colors. They're just marking shapes, so it doesn't matter which color you have. And okay, it's a lot of tools. It's also this sticks, children sticks, like gouache sticks. You can work with them very nicely. Yeah, it's different brands also, but it's children's. It's in children's shop, and of course, recently I fall in love with Caran d'Ache nail color, which are you probably familiar with them. Caran d'Ache nail color tools, they are water soluble. Okay, so they are working like regular crayons, but you also can put water on them, and they have beautiful pigments. Okay, I'm doing a promotion for Caran d'Ache. They are not my sponsor, but I would laugh. I would laugh.
No worries. No worries. Okay. There you go, Caran d'Ache. Please get in touch with Marina. Marina, you have a great drawing that you did that we're going to play in just a few seconds.
Okay.
Can you explain what you're
drawing? So I was sketching this at Dizengoff Square, which is a very central square in Tel Aviv, in the heart of Tel Aviv. And what I wanted to pay attention is about the process of working with shapes and lines. Okay, so at the beginning, I just used to put general relationships between big shapes. What is dark and what is light? Where is the shadow and where is the light? Just big relationships. And then I built this way I build my composition. I am not working with a pencil to mark my composition. No, never. Okay. So this is my composition, and then when I have my composition, my general direction, I starting to put little by little some details which can be in lines or in shapes. And when I see some figures, some persons, some interesting characters, I would put them inside. Okay, and this is the process: putting shapes, lines, until I need to stop. And this is very good question: when to stop? We all know it is very important question. So critic.
Yes.
And sometimes the reality forces you to stop, which is good or not good, but you know, you never know. Yeah.
Yes. So in this case,
in this
case of this drawing,
case, I decided to stop. At some point, maybe it was a bit overdone. I don't know, because it wasn't a people sketch. There are some people, but it's not people that are moving all the time. So nothing forced me to stop. Just myself. But yeah.
Yes. Well, there we go. We're going to watch this video of the way Marina works on location, her process, which she just explained.
Yeah,
without
there are colored pencils after, but not for planning. Not for planning, not for like preparation sketch. It's no preparation sketch.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Marina. Unfortunately, we can't watch it with you, so you'll be off screen watching it. But thank you so much
for inviting me.
Great tips.
See you next month.
Showing us your work.
Looking forward
we'll see
very
you
much
next month in New Zealand. And yes, and we'll see hopefully some of you who are watching. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye.
Next weekend. Ciao, ciao. Stay put to watch Marina's video. Here we go. So for all of you who are joining us just now, we're finishing up the interview with Ben Luk and Marina Grechanik. This is a video of Marina's process of putting together a sketch on location. Both of them are joining us next month in New Zealand. And thank you all for joining and watching. We'll be back next weekend with more instructors who will be teaching at the Symposium in our series Fall in Love with USK Instructors. So tune in, think of good questions. We have very special guests next weekend. And it's been a great time just to spend a few minutes with you today. Thank you again.